Join Justin and watch him transform this rough opal into a beautiful gem. The opal comes from the Grawen fields out at Lightning Ridge. It's what we call seam opal. Its lighter body tone is telling us it might be a stunning crystal opal. So watch and see a beautiful gem unfold.
I got this piece in a parcel of opal, so I've costed this piece as the most expensive one, and hopefully she cuts a really nice stone and I make a profit. So you can see these awesome little flecks of colour that are showing through all the sand on the top, and that's kind of what I'm excited about, because taking all of this stuff off the top, that could come through, and I don't know what pattern it'll be, but it could be really nice. Now, seam opal you have to be really careful with because it can be quite thin, and as it is seam opal, it's in a plate form. But what I've got problems here is this sand here, all around this side of the stone, seems to be eating into the nice colour, which is what I'm worried about. And I'm hoping that it disappears pretty quickly when I start cutting it on the wheel. Right here is where the best colour is, and it seems to go around to there. So I'm thinking of cutting a stone where it's going to sit. Hopefully it's going to be right there. So I'm going to plan on cutting as big a stone as possible, and depending on what comes out as I clean it up a little bit more, depends on whether I might make it a cushion cut or an oval. I do like ovals or symmetrical shapes because they can really be set beautifully in jewellery. So precision is the key. I wanted to share something with you about seam opal back in the 1990s. Here's an example of what the best seam opal from Lightning Ridge can produce. Now, I put all my money on this one piece and thinking that that was going to be the only one that was going to cut something nice. So I took it to the wheel. It cut a magnificent 14 carat beautiful red on black gem, which we sold straight away. Little did we know that this piece here was very, very unassuming until we got it on the wheel. And it turned out to be a magnificent stone, which we now call the butterfly wing. The other stones around it were also added bonuses, and the butterfly wing lived in my collection for many years until the 90s when I had to sell it. So I'm going to use the fine diamond wheel today because the piece is quite thin and quite small, and I can see really nice colour just underneath that skin of sand. So I want to take it slow and carefully because I don't want to lose any of that beautiful colour. And hopefully she faces. Let's get started with the roughing out. I'm using a 600 grit for this because it's important to take it slow. You know, it's really easy to grind away too much and lose good colour. I touch the wheel and then I check the stone, and then I touch the wheel and I check the stone again. All the while I'm keeping an eye on that pattern and seeing where the best gem's going to be. Extremely nice colour sitting in there. I can see those sand spots still poking around on the edges. It's always important to keep water on the wheel to stop you burning the stone and wearing away diamonds on the wheel too fast. Maybe I could break that sand out. No. I've cleaned up all the edges, and it's nearly time, that big moment, when I take the surface off the top and see what it looks like. So for now, I think I'm probably going to have to bring that side in because that's got a little bit of a dip going on and there's sand there. So yeah, I'll just bring that in a little bit further. Such nice colour underneath. Oh, hope it faces. So I think I'm going to take its top off. This is the the hard part of getting it right and without losing too much colour. Alright, I'm going in. Colour's starting to show up quite well. Does the sand keep going? There's so many sand spots still in the face. I don't know if I'm going to get this clean. One side is pretty clean, the other side is not. So where is my shape? Usually when I have a stone with this many inclusions, it ends up being very small. So I'm hoping that they all come out within the next few rubs on the wheel. Otherwise, it's going to be a fizzle. Here's the big, oh my goodness. That colour, when it really hits, look at that. That's amazing colour. It goes right across the face. It's got yellows, greens, golds, oranges and purples and reds. Wow, it's got everything in there. That is beautiful, beautiful. So, what shape? Look, I just make it a straight oval there, a beautiful oval. I think that corner's going to come off anyway, and that's going to come shorter. So let's make it an oval. It's going to be rounded more anyway. One of the biggest challenges with opal is dealing with sand inclusions. Sand can be hidden deep within the stone, and it's not always visible until you're well into the cutting process. The grit trapped in the opal's layers can cause real havoc. It can break up the colour play, create weak spots, and even lead to fractures as you're shaping the stone. Sand inclusions can be especially frustrating when you're working on what looks like a flawless gem, only to uncover sand just as you're bringing out the final face. At that point, you either have to adjust your cut, risking a loss of size or shape, or leave it in, which can affect the gem's final quality and value. Inclusions like these remind us that with opal, it's all about patience and adaptability. Sometimes you have to work around the sand to save as much colour as possible, but other times it's a tough call, whether you keep going or start afresh. I'm just doing the fine touches now, just on this wheel, just to get the stone to its as close as possible to its perfect oval before I put it on the dopstick. It's always important to get it to as close a shape as you think you're going to finish. makes it so much easier for later on. But that is gorgeous. A very, very pretty gem. I'm happy with that. You can see inside the gem there's still a couple of inclusions that have to come out, but they're only superficial, and I should be able to get them out and cut a beautiful stone. So I've just finished rubbing on the wheel and I've dried the stone out, and it seems when I look under the loop I can still see that there's some pretty deep sand spots and pits in the face, so that means the stone's going to be smaller, and I have to be careful not to lose too much of it. I don't want it to be too thin, and that was my fear. So I'm going to put it on the dop stick and go through the fine cutting process now. One of the most important things to remember when working with gemstones is that they aren't always perfect. Every stone tells its own story, shaped by nature over millions of years. Mother Nature has her own vision, and it doesn't always align with ours. These gemstones have been formed under unimaginable conditions, shifting ground and elements, leaving behind unique quirks, inclusions, and fractures. Some opals have perfect colour bars that run smoothly, while others might have sand spots or colour pattern changes that seem to break apart just when you're getting to the gem's heart. It's all out of our control, and that's the part of the beauty of this awesome gemstone. As cutters, we have to work with what nature gives us. We can't change the stone's journey, but we can bring out its best, respecting those natural imperfections. Each mark, each unique pattern adds to the gem's character, and sometimes it's those imperfections that make a stone truly one of a kind. They remind us that while we may shape and polish the stone, nature always has the final say. So I think I've just got all the sand spots out. There's a tiny weeny little speck left, so I think we're good to go to be able to shape this up and roll that dome. Looks pretty good. One thing I didn't see was a really big inclusion right on the edge of the stone, and while I'm not noticing it at the moment, I do notice it when I get to the end of the cut. And as frustrating as that is, it's a really good idea to just finish the stone off, leave it there for a while, get over it, and then come back another day to cut it and cut that sand spot out if you feel the need. It doesn't always happen like this, but frustration can set in and you can make a mistake. Best thing you can do is to put the stone down and leave it be. So we're at the polishing stage, and I just want to show you how well the polish can work by just touching it on one spot, and you'll see where it's tarnished and then where it's polished, and it looks really, really beautiful once you get that luster. So let's get that going. And all I'm going to do is just touch one side like that, and that should be enough actually. Let's have a look really close and see how much it polishes. I just touched it and you can see, wow, one side's all tarnished and the other side's got a gorgeous polish on it. That's how quickly it can go. I love that. Let's polish the rest of it. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. And there we have it. This beautiful crystal opal with its mesmerizing play of color and unique character is a true testament to the wonders of nature. Every opal has its own story, and this one has been an absolute joy to bring to life, from its hidden fire to its challenges it presented. It's a reminder that every gem is as unique as the hands that cut it. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed watching this transformation, don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time.